for the most part, so it won't really matter.
Okay.
Alright, cool. So for this video I'm going to go over pretty much every single Rust component in the game. You're welcome, Josh. And here with me is Kelsey. Say hi, Kelsey.
Hello.
And she has played Rust before, but does not necessarily know anything about the electrical components. So if she doesn't get it, then I'm going to assume that you don't get it, and I'll explain it a different way.
Not a very good assumption.
Alright, so first things first, in the game, when it comes to electricity, there are multiple sources of power. These are them. So you have generators, batteries, windmills, and solar panels. And all of these can be hooked up into different things. These are all the different things that can be powered in the game. I'm sure there's going to eventually be more to come, but yeah, so that's the basic. You have power sources, and then you have things that can be powered. So, just to make a point, the windmill, the higher that you go, the more power it'll put out. It's also unreliable in the sense that it can go down to 0 if there's no wind, so that can just happen sometimes. Solar panels will output 20 power for as long as they are facing the sun. Small batteries will put out 10 power, large batteries will put out 100. Generators will put out 50 power, 50 or 40, maybe I think it's 40. And medium batteries, when they're added in, will be putting out 50 power. So, for this, I have permanent power sources in behind the walls here, and they're bringing in 10 power. Everything in the game, as of right now, with the exception of these things called root combiners, which I actually didn't put in yet. So a root combiner is something that you take an output, and see if I can find the output for this guy. Take the output of these two things, and this guy will output... I didn't know you could put these on the floor. This is new to me. So, for example, the solar panel right now is outputting 17 power because the sun's kind of in the area. And this guy does not have any low grade in it yet, so we'll give this guy some low grade. And this guy will output your 50 or so, and then you'll get 57. So you got 17 plus 40, and then you get 57. So that's all the root combiners do. Every other item in the game so far will consume 1 power when it's used, including this little counter thing here. So it'll take in 10 power and it'll spit out 9. This will get 9 power and it'll spit out 8. So along all these walls I just have permanent power sources, so that way you don't have to wire everything up, and you get the idea.
Okay.
Okay, so first things first is one of the simplest and most used electrical component is called a branch. So in here we got 49 power coming in. It uses 1 power. And in the setting here I have it taking off 6. So all the branch does is it has a power in and a power out, and then you skim off what you need.
Okay.
So here I'm skimming off 6 power, and with this 6 power we can power, because lights take 2 power each, we can power 3 lights.
Oh, okay.
And then obviously this one doesn't get any because it's not enough.
Mm-hmm.
If I, for example, skim off 8, then it'll skim it off.
Cool.
That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
And then all the rest of the power goes through, and then it just comes out here.
Why do you do this?
Why do you do this?
Yes.
Let's say, for example, I want to power some lights, but I also, for example, want to power anything else. If I put this through, say, for example, one of these guys, and these guys aren't really used a lot right now. They might be later on when the battery update comes through.
Okay.
The splitter, and I'll do this later, does this very inefficiently. This, you can set how much power you want to take off.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say, so I can put one off going out to the lights, and then I can take another one and then send it off to an auto turret and that kind of
I
stuff.
see.
Yeah, so it just allows you to skim off power of a main line. That's all that does.
Okay.
So, next simple item is a switch.
Mm-hmm.
Power comes in, flick it on, and it'll spit out power.
Hey.
That's all it does.
Cool.
At least for now, this is all it does. This guy is just a siren, so I'm going to be using a couple of these. There's a couple different lights in the game. Siren you flick on, turns on. It also has a pass-through in it, and the pass-through can power other things.
Oh, okay.
So you can pass power through these guys. Same way you can pass power through a lamp. Just string up other lamps or to power anything else that
So
you want.
does everything have the pass-through capability? Or
Not
just
everything,
a couple
but some things do.
Okay.
So lights, for example, do.
Okay.
Cool. And then here's your splitter. So I have 30 power coming in, goes into the top, and then because this is consuming 1 power, so this is 29, and the splitter consumes a power, so now it's 28.
Okay.
It'll spit out as much as it can.
Oh, okay, I see.
That's why it goes from 30 to 9 here, is because these are consuming power.
Okay.
So the next thing this is the actual first electrical component, is the blocker.
Okay.
So you see these are used a lot on batteries right now. Hopefully with the new battery update you won't have to, but
Yay.
they'll still work like this regardless. And here's how they work.
Okay.
So you have power coming in, and as long as this guy is receiving power, it won't allow anything through. You take away the power, it allows something through. That's all it is. As long as this guy is receiving power, it stops it.
Oh, okay.
So power goes in, power comes out. Get the idea?
Yeah.
That's all it does.
Okay.
Cool. So I'll turn this off. Perfect. Next is a timer. So you flick on the timer. It's like a switch, only the timer.
Hey.
And as long as it has power, you can set how much time it goes for. 2 seconds, 3 seconds, all the way up to
A bajillion.
a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
So right now we'll set it to 2. You can't set it if it isn't receiving power.
Makes sense.
So it has to be receiving power first for you to set it. So set this to 3, for example, and this will last for 3 seconds. That little thing also moves there too.
Okay.
And the next item here I'm going to show you is a door controller. So let's take the, if I can get it here, the pass-through, and let's pass it to the door controller. The door controller right now gives me the option to pair it to a door. The issue is that I can't do that because the door is locked. So this prevents people from coming up, for example, getting TC access and putting these down, being able to open all your doors.
Okay.
The door has to be unlocked for you to be able to pair it to the door.
Okay. But now that
And then
it's
you
there.
can lock it.
Okay. And now it'll work.
And now it'll work.
Okay.
So now with this, you can click on your door, it'll open up. As long as this gets power, and then it stops getting power shuts.
Nice.
That's how door controllers work.
Cool.
So this timer also has a toggle on here. All this does is if when it receives power, it's as if you flicked it. So another item in the game here is something called the trap door.
Oh, yeah.
When you step on it, it spits out 1 power very quickly.
Okay, it's like a pressure plate.
Yeah. So do you know what this is just going to do?
Is it just
If I step on this trap door?
Is it gonna put on the timer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all it's going to do. So toggle on, flicks on the timer.
Yeah.
Boom.
And then open the door.
Exactly. So yeah, that's that. So let's go on. So this one I have done up basically the exact same way.
Okay.
Only I'm using the branch here. I'm going to skim off a little bit of this power here to power the laser.
Okay.
So I think I'm skimming off. Yeah, I'm skimming off 3 here. So
What's
basic
the laser for?
the laser, as long as somebody is in its way, it'll pass through the power.
Oh, I see.
So right now it's spitting out nothing because nobody's in its way.
Yep.
And when I step into it, it'll consume 1 of the power and then spit out 2. And flick on the switch and then do the rest of the stuff with the door.
Cool.
So yeah, that's all that's doing. All right, this one.
I like your signs.
Thank you. I have no idea why this is being powered or how. I think that's a glitch. Anyways, because it's not getting any power.
Right.
All right, so this one's the memory cell.
Okay.
And instead of explaining the inputs of it, it's easier just to show you how it works.
Cool.
Because this is actually something that gives a lot of people confusion. We'll see if I can explain it well to you.
Okay.
All right, so we're giving it power. It has 2 outputs on the top.
Okay.
I'm going to step. It also has 3.
What's this thing called again? A memory?
A memory cell.
Memory cell.
It has 3 inputs on it.
Okay.
So I'll show you how it works, and you can see if you understand what it's doing.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so it's switching between the 2.
Cool.
I mean, it is kind of telling me.
It is telling you.
So.
But here's the thing, though. The reason why this confuses a lot of people, so you can obviously see what it's doing here, where it's just
Yeah.
step on the right one, and it'll turn on the right one.
Yeah.
Step on the left one, it'll only turn on the left one, and then you switch, and then you can switch between the 2. Here's what they're called. You have the power in.
Oh no.
You have the toggle,
Okay, that
which
makes
is your
sense.
switch.
Yeah.
Your reset, and your set, and your output, and your inverted output.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's not very intuitive.
Not really. So anyways, but this is what they do.
Yeah.
Cool. And the other thing that's also neat about this guy, and this is useful for some people for very specific reasons. Let's take a little bit of power here, and then always have branch out a little bit of power to the reset. So I'm trying to remember which one this will do. And then the rest of it will come up here and go to the main power. So this is just powering it, but it's also constantly sending power to the reset, which is the inverted output. Don't worry about that garbage.
Okay.
Point is, it's always set on left.
Okay.
So what's neat about this is that as long as the reset's always receiving power, the toggle won't work. But if I set on the right one, it'll switch momentarily. But it'll keep going back to the other one.
Interesting.
So that's the only thing that's kind of neat about the memory cell, is that you can constantly send power to the reset, and then when you flick on set, even though they're both getting power, the set takes the priority.
Huh.
And it'll switch to the blue one. Make sense?
Yep.
Cool. Next is the HBHF sensor. This guy is just for detecting players.
Okay, yeah.
I think you've seen me use this in one of my other videos. So right now I'm just giving it power, and it has a pass through or a power out, but it doesn't actually pass anything through. What this does is when it's receiving power, you can set it, and I have TC access right now, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to include authorized, so it detects me, and it'll spit out 1 power. So let's say, for example, I set that to the door, and it opens the door for me.
Okay.
Let's say I exclude authorized.
Right.
It'll stop powering the door. We got you out here in the back, sitting there with your bunny ears. So this guy, I'm going to include authorized, and it'll spit out 1. And I'm also going to include other people. You're not authorized on this.
Correct.
Include other people, and it should be spitting out 2.
Oh, because it's seeing both of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly what it's doing.
Cool.
So, yeah, that's pretty much all that does. Is it'll output 1 power as long as somebody's being detected, and you can set what it counts as people being detected.
So if you have like 20 people in a room, it'll spit out 20?
Yeah.
Okay.
It should theoretically do that.
Yeah. I wonder if it has a max.
Maybe does. I don't think most people don't use it for that reason. They only use it to detect something.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. All right, cool. So, what are you doing?
Because
Stop.
is it because I'm?
Maybe.
I think it's because I'm there.
Maybe. Also, pretty much everything in the game can be picked up with a hammer, but it'll take a little bit of damage. Takes quarter damage every single time, but you can always just repair it with a
Little smack.
little smack. Oh, took damage, so it's not gonna let me do it right yet. All right, so we've been using these for a while here, but now I'm gonna actually show you the other option that it can do. So here is your counter.
Okay.
You've already seen it. We're using
Yeah.
them here, but they actually have 2 settings. So you can set it to show pass-through, which is what we've been doing this whole time, where it just shows how much power is coming in and going, and not going out, but it shows you how much power is going in. You can also set it here to count things.
Okay.
So I don't have anything set up here to do this. I'm going to have to do this on the fly. Oh wait, no, I do have something here. Okay, so here's your power out for your pad. This will increment the counter every time it receives power.
Cool. Okay.
So for example, you could set this up to one of those guys, and then you could see how many people ran past your base over the night. And then you can set it to decrement the counter. And logically, you can set it to clear it.
Cool.
And you can have multiple things going up to these things, but
Right.
you get the basic idea. And you can also show the pass-through.
Right.
However, when it's in this mode here, it doesn't show any pass-through.
Yes, I understand.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So the RAND switch. This guy's this random switch. RAND switch.
Okay.
It's got four pieces to it. It's got an input and an output.
Yep.
So it's taking some in,
Spit
sends some
some,
out.
yep.
Yeah, you got it. There's a reset here,
Okay.
which means that it sets it to not be able to put any output. So it can't put anything, it puts it to 0. And this guy will either put it to 0 or 1.
Oh.
It's a 50-50 chance
Oh,
that
yeah.
it'll go or not. There we go.
The shotgun trap thing that the guy did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's just random whether or not it'll go or not.
Yeah.
And then the reset obviously just makes it always be 0.
Okay.
Cool. These guys are bugged out right now. They're going even though they're not supposed to be.
Uh-oh.
Anyways, alright, so this one here is also, okay, so I put this one up here because technically the switch has more than one function, an input and output. It technically has these switch on, switch off. The thing is they don't function the way you'd think. So this one's going to the switch off.
Oh, this is the switch that you showed me before?
Yeah, this is the same switch.
Yep.
So switches technically have more inputs.
Mm-hmm.
They're buggy.
Nice.
They don't seem to be working properly. However, what you can do right now is, say for example, you switch it on and you have it always powered as on.
Okay.
It'll switch it on and then you can switch it off.
Can you switch it back on?
You can switch it back on manually,
Okay.
but even then it doesn't seem to work properly. So
That's so weird.
It's weird. It's buggy right now. It just needs to be fixed. So
Okay.
theoretically, when this is fixed, you can switch it on. You can switch it off
Okay.
using
Gotcha.
external power of some kind.
Gotcha.
All right. So these are your logic gates here, and you've done some programming. So these will be easy for you. This is your OR switch.
Yep.
So as long as one receives power,
Mm-hmm.
you're good. Both receive power, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
If none receive power, then it doesn't
Obviously,
work.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is your AND switch.
Mm-hmm.
One receives power, not good.
Yep.
Both don't receive power, not good.
Mhm.
Both receive power, you're good.
A.
Yeah, so is your AND switch.
Sick.
Is your XOR switch.
Okay.
This one is one has to receive power, or only one can receive power.
Okay.
So one receives power, you're good. Two receive power, you're bad.
Mhm.
One receives power, you're good. Both receive power, you're bad. Or both don't receive power, you're bad.
Gotcha.
So this one's actually really nice, for example, because there's two switches. Imagine you had one switch on the roof of your base and one switch on the entrance of your base. No matter what the other one is, you can always flick them and then it'll turn the lights on or off.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's kind of what one of the reasons why this thing's really useful. Because obviously with this one could be on, but then this one flick of the switch will always do something to the lights.
Mhm.
Cool. So now for this guy, you're not getting any power, so you should stop doing that. Okay. All right. Here's your auto turret.
Yeah.
So the auto turret is hooked up. It needs 10 power to work. So
Okay.
it needs 10 power coming in to work. I just have
Okay.
it hooked up to a switch here for reasons.
Okay.
And then it has, so that way I can flick it on and off.
Sure.
And then it also has these three outputs.
No ammo. Low ammo. Has target.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they're pretty
Oh,
self-explanatory.
flash. Okay, I see.
Yeah, so.
Oh, audio and lights. I gotcha.
Yeah, you got it. So this guy, let's say I put ammo in here and I'm authorized on it. Turn it on. Whew. You're not. So it doesn't like you.
Not a fan.
Hold on, we can fix that. Let's just get one of these up here. All right. Let's flick this guy on again.
You didn't see a thing.
So anyways, yeah, so this guy's receiving power.
Yeah.
And everything's fine. It's got 10. Let's pretend that it was shooting you a bunch. Could just let it shoot you, but I'm not going to do that.
Please don't.
I think if it's under 30, yeah,
Okay.
the low ammo will be on.
Okay. Cool.
If it has no power, or if it has no ammo at all,
Mhm.
both will turn on,
Oh.
which is neat. You'd think that
Just
low
the
ammo
one.
should be
Because it has no ammo.
and low ammo.
Yeah.
So it seems like they set it in the code where if it's less than 30, then it'll go.
Both of them will go.
Both
yeah.
of them will go.
Oh.
It should be less than 30 and not equal
Yeah,
to 1 or
exactly.
not equal to 0.
Yeah.
So anyways, whatever. That's how it is right now, but that
Equal
gets
to
fixed
0.
at some point.
Yeah.
And then I also, this is another little electronic thing that I haven't shown you, is a little audio alarm. So so it has no ammo in it right now. I'm going to clear myself from the authorization, turn it on,
Oh yeah.
and it
has
should
target.
scream at us.
Is that it? Okay. Yeah.
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 So the neat thing about this is that it's not very loud really far away.
Okay.
So you can't use it to alert a lot of people, but it's
yeah.
useful in your base.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's also barely audible behind walls.
Nice.
So anyways,
That is good.
unfortunately, I kind of wish it was super friggin' loud, but I can see why they wouldn't do that because they don't want people to set up alarms around people's bases and just have them
Yeah.
run all the time.
Exactly.
So anyways, that's the auto turret.
Cool.
Next is the Tesla coil, or the metal dildo. Yeah.
Ow.
Yes. Ow. Anyways, so yeah, you flick this thing on as long as it has 35 power. Or sorry, this thing can take up to 35 power.
Mhm.
And the amount of power that it has, it does that amount of damage per second.
Okay.
So you get so you can't give it 100 and then do 100 damage a
Yeah,
second.
it
You
has
can
a
go
max.
up to 35.
Okay.
Yeah, and then while it has power, it flicks on, and it also does damage to it as well.
Oh.
So you can't. So it doesn't work forever. It will damage itself.
Oh, it has like a built-in durability kind of thing. Gotcha.
And as you may have seen from the other video, it stacks. So you could put, for example, 3 of these or 12 of these, and then you can kill somebody basically instantly with 12. But 3 of these will kill somebody in 1 second.
Cool.
All right, final stretch.
Okay.
Here's the wireless power.
Oh.
So this guy is called an RF transmitter.
Gotcha.
And as long as he is receiving power, he doesn't need much, he only needs 1,
Yep.
it'll broadcast.
Okay.
So what's useful with this is we got a couple of things in the game that can be used with this. So let's set the frequency, so 2, 3, 4, 5, and set the frequency of 2, 3, 4, 5. I have it on silent mode.
What is this? Oh, a pager.
It's a little pager, so it'll alert you if something if this is being powered. It'll alert you.
Aw.
Now, the other thing is that there's something in the game that acts like this that you can hold, called the RF broadcast, or what's this thing called? RF transmitter, yeah.
Okay.
This is an RF broadcaster. This is an RF transmitter.
Okay.
Whatever. This
Yeah.
one's handheld. This one isn't.
Yeah.
With this guy, exact same idea. So with this guy, you hold it in your hand. You hold down right click. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, okay. So it's using that as like a relay.
No.
Oh no, it's
This
completely separate.
itself, yeah, this itself. So this guy's not
Oh.
being powered right now. It's not even
Oh
on.
yes, sorry. Yeah,
No
yeah.
worries. So yeah, this guy, this will power you as long as you click it. And then obviously it has a little silent mode. So I want to test something with this soon because I'm wondering. Because here's the thing. Check this out. You can put this little guy in here.
Silent is on. You turn.
He's just so I put it in the little box here.
Yeah.
And it'll beep while it's in the box.
Uh-huh.
And then I can put it on silent, and you can still kind of hear it.
What?
And it seems to be about the same distance that you can hear the buzz versus the beep.
Okay.
So I'm curious to know if you were to hold this with the silent mode on, would I not be able to hear the buzz standing next to you? So we're going to test that in a minute.
Okay.
But we'll continue on for now. So we got these 2 things, and then we also have this other electrical component, and this is an RF receiver.
Okay.
So 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's set this guy to 2, 3, 4, 5. If this guy receives a signal, it'll allow power to go through.
Okay.
Otherwise, it blocks it.
Okay.
So 2, 3, 4, 5.
Neat. Neat.
Or Tesla coils or anything else that you want to power it with. And again, these are not connected in any way. They're just set to the same frequency.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And then also this as well. So it does the exact same thing as what I'm holding.
Cool. Okay.
And I think that guy's set to 55, so just to prove that this can be done all the way across the map. Actually, here, I'll show it this way. So let's imagine somebody gets into your base, and you have another base somewhere else. That sends off a signal, and you'll get a warning somewhere else. So that's your other base, and somebody enters in this base, and it'll give you a warning.
Huh.
So it's useful all the way across the map. The whole server will work like this.
Neat.
All right. So come over here on your guy, and we're gonna test out these 2 things. None of the turrets are powered, right? Okay, we're good. Your ears are all buggy.
No, really?
Yeah.
Let me see.
This way.
Amazing.
All right. So here's what we're gonna test. So here's this pager. So it's at 2, 3, 4, 5. Pick her up. What value is it at? Is it still at 2, 3, 4, 5?
Yeah.
Okay, neat. So right now, is it on silent mode or is it on normal mode?
Silent is off.
Silent's off. All
What
right.
do you want?
So just hold it. Here we go.
Do you want silent off?
So here's what it sounds like. Oh. Okay. So silent mode is just a slightly less noticeable version of the loud mode. Turn it on loud again. Okay. Here, let's mute this for a
Yeah, I was
second.
just thinking that.
Okay.
So you can't
So
use-
silent mode doesn't really do much aside from just, that's unfortunate. I always thought silent mode would keep it completely silent to anybody other than you.
You'd think,
Mm.
since it's called silent.
Alright, cool. And the last thing I want to test here is, let's pretend like this is a secret code that I don't want anyone to have and I die with it.
Okay.
So here's the question, is if I die with it or I drop it, are you able to see what it has on it? 2, 3, 4, 5?
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
5.
Throw it back to me for a second. And let's try actually me dying. So, whoops. I don't remember how to kill myself all of a sudden.
Isn't it slash kill? Slash kill?
Slash kill?
Isn't it slash kill? Oh no.
What's wrong with... Oh, I know why. It's because I'm God. There we go.
Really?
Alright, now pick it up off me.
This one?
2, 3, 4, 5.
2, 3,
Okay.
4, 5.
So unfortunately you can't have that be a secret in any way. You can't, you have to protect your frequency, and if somebody gets a hold of your transmitter and now knows whatever frequency you're using,
Change them all.
you have to change your frequency.
Change your passwords.
It'd be nice if that wasn't the case. If you dropped it or you died, then it would, you know, clear itself. But anyways, alright, so that's the video. Thanks for watching, and thanks, Kels.
Yeah, no problem.